Everyone's talking about the new thing, and you just don't care. The latest phone, the viral dance, the show everyone's binge-watching, the fashion that's suddenly everywhere, and people look at you like something's off. Wait, you haven't tried it? How do you not know about this? Are you serious right now? But you're not clueless. You're not stuck. You just don't feel what everyone else seems to be feeling. While the world's moving in one direction, you're standing somewhere else entirely. Not to prove a point, not to rebel. You simply don't feel the pull. Today, we're exploring the psychology of people who don't follow trends. Not people who pride themselves on being different. People who genuinely exist outside the trend cycle without trying to make a statement. Your experience is real, and there are actual reasons for why you operate this way. So let's understand it. Your confidence comes from inside. Here's the fundamental difference. Most people check the world around them to know if they're doing things right. They look at what's popular, what's getting attention, what everyone's excited about, and that tells them what to care about. But you check inward. Your decisions get measured against your own values, not against what's trending. You don't need social proof to feel good about a choice. If it aligns with who you are, that's enough. This isn't about being above anyone. It's about having a clear sense of yourself that doesn't need constant updating. For a lot of people, trends offer a shortcut to identity. They provide ready-made markers of who you are. But your identity is already formed. It's stable. It doesn't shift every time the culture does. So when a new trend appears, it doesn't feel exciting or necessary. It feels like noise, like an update to a system that's already running fine. You're not lost when trends change because your sense of self isn't tied to those temporary markers. And that's not coldness, that's clarity. Being told what to do triggers something. Here's something you've probably noticed about yourself. The more someone insists you try something, the less you want to try it. It's not conscious stubbornness. It's a gut-level reaction. A feeling of, don't tell me what to do, that rises up automatically. This is called reactance, and you have a strong version of it. When marketing campaigns scream at you, when algorithms push the same thing over and over, when everyone around you is saying, you have to do this, your brain doesn't hear a helpful suggestion. It hears an attempt at control, and something inside you resists. Not to make a statement, not to be difficult, but to protect your autonomy. For you, joining a trend doesn't feel like connection. It feels like giving in, like letting someone else decide what you should care about. This gets even stronger when the trend feels manufactured, when you can sense the manipulation behind it. The very act of being pushed in one direction makes you want to stand still, or walk the other way. You're not trying to rebel, you're trying to stay free. You actually evaluate things. While most people are absorbing what's popular without much thought, you're asking questions. Why is this everywhere? What makes this actually good? Is this worth my time and energy? You don't outsource your judgment to the group. You process things yourself and come to your own conclusions. There's a famous psychology experiment where people were put in a room and asked to match the length of lines. The answer was obvious, but everyone else in the room, who were actors, gave the wrong answer on purpose. And most people went along with the wrong answer, even though they could see it was wrong, because fitting in felt more important than being right. You're the person who doesn't yield to that pressure. You trust your own perception. You're less likely to assume the crowd is correct just because they're the crowd. You're the one quietly asking, but why, while everyone else is just going along. This doesn't mean you think you're smarter than everyone. It means you don't turn off your brain just because something's popular. You're building yourself from the inside out. There's a philosophical layer to this that's worth understanding. Some people direct their energy outward. They try to fit into social hierarchies. They want approval, status, recognition from others. But you direct your energy inward. You're engaged in building yourself, shaping your own values, creating your own standards, free from what the crowd thinks you should be. This is a form of self-mastery, and it's actually more difficult than just conforming. There's a difference between authentic non-conformity and reactive non-conformity. Reactive non-conformity is defining yourself purely in opposition to what's popular. It's hollow. It's still being controlled by trends, just in reverse. But authentic non-conformity, that's building your own world without bitterness. That's creating values that are genuinely yours. At your best, you're not rejecting the system. You're just operating outside of it, doing the difficult work of shaping yourself on your own terms. And that takes real strength. You don't need others to feel okay. Here's something that separates you from most people. Your emotional state doesn't depend on whether you're included. For a lot of people, the fear of missing out is real and powerful. It drives them to participate in trends even when they don't actually care. Because not participating feels like being left out, and being left out feels like rejection. But for you, being overlooked doesn't register as rejection. You're comfortable standing alone, not because you're antisocial, but because your sense of well-being doesn't come from social validation. The threat that drives conformity, if you don't do this, you won't be one of us, doesn't have power over you. This is emotional independence, and it's rare. Most people's self-worth is tied to external attention. Yours isn't. So the social mechanics that push others toward trends just don't apply to you. You're not scared of being on the outside because you're already secure on the inside. Your brain prioritizes calm over excitement. Trends are built on novelty, new, shiny, exciting. They create a little burst of stimulation that feels good. But not every brain is wired to chase that. Your nervous system prioritizes stability, not because you're boring, but because constant stimulation is exhausting to you. Your focus is limited, and you're ruthlessly efficient with it. Following trends takes real energy. Keeping track of what's new, updating your preferences, switching things out that already work, and your brain sees that as a terrible investment. You instinctively protect your mental energy for things that matter to you long-term. Your work, your relationships, your actual interests. If something in your life already works, you see no reason to replace it just because there's a newer version. This isn't laziness. This is effective mental self-regulation. In a culture addicted to stimulation, choosing calm isn't weakness, it's intelligence. So what's really happening with people who don't follow trends? Your confidence comes from inside, not from external approval. Being told what to do triggers resistance in you. You actually evaluate things instead of just absorbing them. You're building yourself from the inside out, not letting the world shape you. You don't need social inclusion to feel emotionally stable, and your brain chooses calm over constant stimulation. None of this makes you cold, strange, or disconnected. It makes you someone who operates from self-definition instead of social imitation. Now, I'm curious. Do you see yourself in these descriptions? Are you a trend follower or a trend avoider? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you appreciate psychology-based insights that explain real human behavior, consider subscribing to the channel. We have a lot more to explore together.